What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Najir here, and today we have a special guest. We have the star, the writer, and the director of the new film Haymaker, which is going to be coming in theaters and on demand and digitally January 29th. Nick Sasso, what's up, buddy? How's it going today?
Chilling. How you doing?
Good. I know you're a busy man doing your press runs today. I know you're very excited. You got your debut film under your belt. How does it feel?
It's weird. It's been a long time, man. It's definitely this is the fun part. I get to talk to folks like you and get the word out about the movie.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, congratulations nonetheless. It's a really strange time in the world. A very difficult time in this industry. And for you to just get it out regardless, that's a huge accomplishment. So just congratulations so far.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate that.
Not a problem. Now, I have to ask my very first question. Upon watching this film, it was something about Nick I just been dying to ask you. Ever since I knew I had an opportunity to talk to you, I just been dying to ask. I feel like, Nick, there's something underneath the layer that the movie never addresses. There's times you look at him and it's like you see conflict, you maybe see pain, you see struggle, but it's clearly that something has been bothering him with the past. I wonder if you can give me just a little bit of the backstory with the psychology of that character.
Thanks. I appreciate you saying that because that was like certainly one of the things that we set out to do with that character, with the acting coaches that I was working with and with the script itself. I think that because of the subject nature and because of what we were trying to do and because of some of the other characters and actors that I've appreciated over the years, I think one of our goals was to really create a character that wherever the audience member is coming from, they could kind of project themselves into that character's head, so to speak.
Yeah.
To kind of pull them in. Whereas you have a lot of characters who sometimes are dealing with external conflicts. This is a character who's dealing with internal conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, the first and foremost thing is like, we've all experienced, rejection. We've all experienced loss. And for somebody who's been defined by something such as fighting for so long, when their sense of self gets pulled out from underneath them, they can be out at sea adrift. And so the movie sort of takes place as the main character is kind of trying to put new pieces together to move forward.
Yeah, I think that there's a strong connection between one of the initial scenes with him at the bar when he's first approached by Nomi, and then the scene where he's at his locker when he's approached by Zoe Bell's character. I think there's a strong connection between those two scenes that tells the story that's where it was really calling to me. I was like, oh, there's definitely something. And like Zoe Bell's character didn't get to like layer it out, but so I knew there was like an internal struggle that she knew. Maybe the fans were suspicious, but I had to confirm. So good to hear.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Now, I absolutely love what your background brings to this film. I love the idea of the commercial, having the background commercials, but God, did I love the music video aesthetics in this.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes, without a doubt, was the old school driving through New York. I played it back a few more times. I was like, I could loop this right here. It was so beautifully shot. But the best part about this is how that positioned your co-lead in Nomi Ruiz for her big screen debut, that it made her natural. And I thought that was such a brilliant aspect. I don't know if that was premeditated or not, but I love how it feels like it was designed to make her shine, and surely it did. So with that being said, and that considered, moving from obviously smaller budgets, or should I say other people's budgets, to your own personal budgets, or just a smaller scale to the big screen,
right?
What major challenges did you have in that transition into bringing this project alive?
Yeah, I mean, well, thanks for what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, the old school music videos, I mean, like, right, Hype Williams, I mean, like, when I was, like, just trying to break in, it was like, the movie Belly. It's like, oh, man, all I need to do is put things in slow motion. It'll be good, that was definitely a huge inspiration. But in terms of, like, the troubles with budget and stuff like that, so much of that was I had so many great collaborative partners on this movie. You know I wear all these hats, but couldn't have done the movie without Nomi and all the things that she was able to bring. So many friends who were able to come in and help out, either, you know, getting us the location, Downtown Records, you know, that famous recording studio. You know, shout out to my boy Gorilla Nems. We filmed that car scene in Coney Island. You know, he's the guy performing in Downtown Records in that scene. Mm-hmm. No, you know, I said Nomi, but like Zoe Bell, you know, all the stuff that she was able to bring from the stunt point of view, and DB Sweeney in terms of, I've never been a leading man, and like DB selflessly giving me feedback as to how to do it. You know, these aren't, so I really felt like I hit the jackpot in that regard, you know. And even that car in that scene, that's a kid from high school that I wasn't even good friends with at the time. I just knew from Facebook he still works on old cars, and I'm like, hey man, I'm shooting a movie. You want to come do some donuts? You know, and like, yeah, sure, you know, I'll do that. You know, so it really was a collaborative effort with so many folks. And my boy Brett Plavacek, you know, in the movie, you know, world-class fighter. You know, he's got tremendous connections in Thailand, and he's an associate producer on the film. Without him, we wouldn't have had access to all that stuff in Thailand. So, you know, I just feel, honestly, at this stage, I just feel so grateful for all these people that decided to come play make-believe with me for a little bit and put out something that I hope audiences are entertained by, you know?
Yeah. I thought, you know, you're absolutely bleeding into my next question. Okay. Number one, I would have loved to have been casted for this, because talk about the set locations as you named. Yeah, like that's fantastic. But yeah, this was something that you've said that this was something that you wanted to make sure that you were able to accomplish before it was all said and done. And I felt that connection. And that's such a really righteous thing to do. And then you do the unthinkable. This project, as much as this is something you wanted to do, it was really about everybody else that you put around you. And I thought that was so selfless. You just named every single person that contributed to this. And that's exactly what I was going at. I was like, you know, it sounded like, hey, this is a bucket list for me, but you gave so many people chances and opportunities to either tell the story or in order to contribute their skill in a way they may not have been able to do so. So I'm just wondering, like, with that being said, like, what's kind of been the responses from your team and so on? Like, how is that all bubbling up for you?
Like I said, it started off saying, it's like, it's weird, you know, it's like, because, you know, I've been telling all these folks for years, like, you know, this is this thing we're doing. And they, you know, a lot of these, you know, all my fight friends, like from the gym and stuff, they're not actors. They're just like, what are we doing? Like, I was like, beating each other up, you know, it's like, yeah. So, you know, and Nomi as well, you know, for her to trust me to take her music too, and to really sort of showcase her as a performer, and to give me that kind of trust, you know, I took that very, very, I get goosebumps. You know, I really took that to heart. I really wanted to do the best with that responsibility. And, you know, for me, honestly, like once they saw it and I could see how much they responded to it, you know, that to me was like such a huge joy. And now this is the next phase of just hoping it connects with other folks and hoping they sort of can get a sense of the blood, sweat, and tears we put into it. Because, you know, we really did, you know, we're a scrappy bunch, and this is like, it's really kind of tough to make movies the old school indie way and outside of the system, nevertheless. Yeah. You know, so that's, even though we have all these great collaborators, it was really like a shot in the dark, you know, end of the day.
You're reading my notes here, I see.
You got a mirror right behind.
I do definitely appreciate you saying that, because I do love, and my biggest note on this movie was that I felt like it opened up doors and conversations that aren't usually had. And I think that, especially right now in society, these are things, you know, these cultural conversations. I love to have that was the underlining bust that drove this film. With that being said, where do you see this going? Because now that you done opened these doors now, and now that you're going to bring eyes and attention to some of these things that, you know, some people may not be aware of, what's your next initiative? What's the next project? What's the next tell-all to this?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I appreciate what you're saying. And I do think that I just want to say real, you know, quickly, that's like, you know, diversity, it's like, it's an important part, inclusion, an important part of every walk of life. And, you know, from our standpoint, like, that's how I think that my friends and I live our lives, you know? So I think that it's, you know, we were not trying to push a square peg through a round hole.
Yeah.
You know, I think that that's something that we want to bring to whatever project it is we're working on, and especially, you know, taking stories and just putting them in places where you wouldn't necessarily go. Because I think that one of the things that people love about going to the movies is, you know, peeking backstage. You know, I think David Mamet said that, and he's a great inspiration for me. He says, you know, people love to go backstage, you know, and it's true. So like, where can we take, you know, what I'm thinking about next is like, where can I take the camera next, where maybe somebody hasn't gone before. And oftentimes that's with folks that, you know, are underrepresented or in places that are underrepresented. That said, I've seen a lot of UFOs in Los Angeles. so I'm just, that may or may not have something to do with what's next.
Okay. Well, I know I'm up on my time. I know you have a busy rest of your day to go. I am very excited to see the fans' response to this. I am, even after I'm already seeing it, I'm super excited to see what's next. I think I love a good story, but I also love a good theme under it. And I think with this film, outside of everything, these cultural conversations that you're having here, I know people are going to gravitate to, and they're going to, and I think now that you're in this position, people are going to look to you to see what else can tell, and as well as with Nomi as well. I think y'all make a good tandem, and much success for both of you all in the future.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Right on. Well, this is Nick Sasso, everybody. Haymaker is going to be in theaters, on demand, digitally, January 29th. Check it out, and keep an eye on his social. You can see more projects are to come in the future. As always, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you all very soon.